my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dani, and this is Coffee Break with Dani. If you're not new around here, you know I'm not a stranger to a few things. This color, cheeseburgers, tacos, well, really any carbs, actually, and my love and fascination for dogs. My four dogs in general, but let's be honest, I have yet to meet a dog that I don't instantly love. Today, this video is dedicated to you if you are on the same boat as me, where your love for dogs runs deep. Do you guys ever make a cup of coffee in the morning that is so good that you're like peeking in your tumbler just to make sure you can anticipate the last sip because you know that's gonna be the moment where your heart gets broken? I'm not there yet, so I'm really trying to prepare myself, but let me tell you, that cup of coffee is delicious. Today we're here with an Amazon favorites, stuff that I've found or discovered for my dogs. Some of these items do apply to other kinds of pets, I would imagine, because all pets have to eat and drink. But particularly for me, I have 4 dogs. 3 of them are seniors, special needs. One of them is very energetic and destroys everything. So we run the gamut on personality types when it comes to dogs here. Personality type, size, interests, illnesses, and ailments. So we have found certain things on Amazon to make our life a little easier. I don't anticipate this video to be very long, but we do cover some stuff that I think is actually pretty useful when it comes to life with pets, primarily sick or senior pets. So we're gonna get into it. All of these items I found on Amazon, and if you guys have seen Totopoh in the background, he's actually mad at me right now because I scolded him. When I get mad at Totopoh, he does that. FYI, when I get mad at him, he does this for a few hours. He'll stare at a wall, like a toddler when you put him in timeout, except he voluntarily puts himself in timeout. I mean, I could literally watch him do that all day. I think it's quite frankly very adorable. It's like when you try to tell your parents, like, I'm so mad, and they're like, yeah, okay. Sure. You see him? He's so mad at me because I scolded him. He was being all whiny and stuff. I never scold him though, so. Should we just wait and see how long it's gonna take him to like actually forgive me? No, we could be here all day. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about him. He actually is a 15-year-old Chihuahua. He has an enlarged prostate, a grade 3 heart murmur, and a collapsed trachea. He is also a survivor of a spinal stroke. So he was paralyzed from the waist down until we rehabbed him, did a bunch of CT scans, MRIs. I took him to physical therapy, and he regained about 90% movement in his legs, like his hind legs. But it was a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of stress and sadness and fear, and also a lot of money. But he is healthy in that regard now. Oh, he's still mad at me. Look at him. Anyway, due to his heart medication and his enlarged prostate, he dribbles. He's not a marker. Neither of my boy dogs have ever been markers. So if they pee in the house, it's because of their medication, because of their diabetes, because of something, but it's never because they intentionally just want to pee everywhere. He started to have an enlarged prostate a couple years ago, and because of that, he dribbles. So little, tiny little drops of pee come out, and I don't like them to get on my couch or my bed or anything, and there is no place in this home that is off limits to my dogs. They are part of the family, and if they want to go into a room, they get to go into a room. But I'm also not going to let them pee everywhere, you know? So I found these little belly bands. They are male dog diapers. So these are specifically for male dogs. They do have girl diapers, but these are specifically for boys because they just kind of wrap around. And they're super helpful, super convenient, super easy to wash. Very comfortable. I mean, you could see right now, he's throwing his tantrum while taking a nap while wearing a belly band. And so they come in really fun designs. This is like a little lion one. These are my favorite. They make him look like he's wearing jeans. He's actually wearing a cobalt blue one, but if you guys are boring and like vanilla, then they also have just standard colors like this. Did you feel attacked? Did you feel violently attacked by me? So if you guys are wondering, or if you have a dog that pees, or you have a dog that marks, or you need diapers for your dog, these are a really great option. I bought the bigger size for Wesley when diabetes, like his glucose is out of control and he really can't like retain his pee. I'll put a diaper on him just in case, because if you've ever seen diabetic pee, holy mackerel, it's like a gallon of sugar water. It's disgusting. So definitely recommend belly bands. Moving on to other things like couches and protecting furniture and stuff like that. I found waterproof blankets on Amazon that are specifically designed for pets. Are there waterproof blankets in general? Yes. Could you put a pee pad under a regular blanket? Of course. What's the point of having a waterproof blanket? Because if it gets wet, then you have to wash it anyway. I know, but it makes me feel better to allow them to hang it on the couch if they have their smell to go to. And if it just so happens that Totopoh was not wearing his belly band because, you know, one of the girls or the boys took him to the potty and didn't put his band back on, they know to go to their scent. They know to go to their blanket, and if something happens, it's on this blanket. It's a lot easier for me to throw this in the wash than one of our blankets, a quilt, or a cushion cover, you know? So these are specifically for dogs. You see the little logo right there. It is a dog brand. They come in so many different sizes and colors. This is Totopoh's, it's the littler one, and this is in the shade gray. No, tan. This is the tan blanket. We also have a gray one that's a little bit larger, and that's the one that Ernie uses when she's on my bed. But I wanted to show you guys how soft the texture is. It has Sherpa on the other side, but it's the soft, like, cloudy Sherpa, not the tough polyester feeling one. And you can't hear the plastic on the inside. It has that waterproof material that some mattresses have. So it's really cool. If you have a dog that's getting older in age, or maybe even a dog that's just messy, it's so much easier to be able to just pull a blanket out and then wash it without making them feel uncomfortable on like a pee pad, you know? So I thought I would mention those. I also have Wesley. Wesley is my Westie. He's right there. He is diabetic, has Cushing's disease, and because the diabetes affects his immune system, basically you look at him the wrong way, his immune system's like, I'm out. You breathe at him the wrong way, I'm out. He gets sick by everything and everything because he has a weakened immune system, rather, a compromised immune system. So he gets rashes every other day. Okay, maybe not so dramatically, but like they do last for a while and it's traumatizing. Sometimes he even needs antibiotics because they get so bad. So he'll get giant blisters where just the whole chunk of fur comes off and it's like raw flesh, and he gnaws at it. It's not a sunspot or a hot spot or whatever that some dogs get. It's an actual blister from an infection on the skin. He gets really bad rashes and I can't stop him from chewing. I have never liked cones on dogs. I think they're very uncomfortable. It prohibits them from drinking water if they want to play with toys and stuff like that. I just don't think it's very comfortable for them. And the weight of that really hard plastic could probably take a toll on like their little necks, you know? So I found this. This is the best invention for dogs, you guys. If you have a dog that chews, that bites, that has little spots, that can't stop chewing on themselves, this is a really cool inflatable thing. Let me see how I can show you guys. It's basically like a hemorrhoid pillow, but for dogs that they don't sit on, they put around their necks. So the inside is like an inflatable, like a little inflatable thing. I never inflate it hard. I like to keep it soft so that they have a little bit of movement, but usually a little bit firmer than this. So this is a little too soft. We haven't used it in a while, so you know how the air gets out of it. Anyway, so it has a very soft fabric, which is very comfortable. Plus Wesley loves the color blue. It has an adjustable clip, so you can make it as loose or as tight depending on... Screen grab it. You're welcome. Don't say I never give you anything. So it's very comfy. It's adjustable. If you have a dog that has like a chubbier neck or a thinner neck, it's definitely adjustable. And then it's washable. So you inflate it here. So you insert the plastic and then you inflate it. You deflate it, take out the plastic, and then throw this in the washing machine and it's good to go. So it's such a godsend. It's such a lifesaver. We have one that's a little bit bigger for Ernie because Ernie also gets anxious itching and she will break skin to the point where she gives herself like a yeast infection on her fur. It's terrible. Anyway, don't get pets, it's a trap. Just kidding, get all the pets. Okay, what's next? Controversial item, bark collars. Bark collars have been debated for years. Some people hate them, some people love them. Every time I talk about them in videos, I get crucified for it. I'm good with it, God's good with it, my dogs are good with it, we're good, you know? It's just one of those things where you know if it's the right fit for your life or not. These are not electroshock collars. They do not shock your dog. They vibrate and they make a sound. I have tried many different vibrating and sound collars, many different ones. They're all over $100 and my dogs get through them. Like they basically get used to them and they stop working. This is a $29 collar that I found on Amazon and all of the dogs hate it, which tells me I'm doing my job right. So they look like this. They have the orange and they have the black. There's only one size. So the doubles is the same size as Ernie's. The collar that it comes with is adjustable. You just cut it to their size and burn the edges and then it fits them perfectly. I just put their initial on the side of it so I know which size is cut to which dog. But let me show you guys. It gives them a warning sound when they bark. It gives them a longer warning sound if they keep barking. A very long warning sound. And then after you do the third warning sound, then it starts to go zzz, 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 and it will keep vibrating until they stop barking. So it's kind of one of those bark collars that is similar to my parenting, where like, Mateo, stop jumping on the couch. Mateo, stop jumping on the couch. Mateo, find a warning, stop jumping on the couch. Mateo, please stop jumping on the couch. Mateo, I swear to God. That's kind of, this is what the collar does. So it does not hurt them, interrupts the signal that connects their brain to the reaction of barking. My dogs bark for everything. There are some dogs that bark when they're scared, when they're nervous, when they have a reason, when they're guarding the house. My dogs, at the slightest sense of stimulation, will bark. So it does become aggravating, disturbing, and bothers the family. So on days where we know we're all gonna be home, or the windows are gonna be open, or someone's gonna come visit, or a plumber needs to come fix something, is when we put the collars on. Do they wear the collars always? No. Do they wear them when we leave the house? No. Do they wear them unattended? No. So there's very limited occasions where the collars go on, but those are the occasions where I need the collars to work, and they do. So it's definitely a saver, but it is a big device for your dogs if they're really little, like the Totopoh. Look, he's still mad at me. If they're really little like the Totopoh, that's the size. If they're big like Ernie, that's the size. So there's no way to get around from that little box. Now let's talk about feeding. I have an empty feeder here in front of me because I wanted to show it to you guys, but it's really cool because it comes in many different sizes. So some of you have teacup sized dogs, others have really, really giant dinosaur sized dogs, right? And so I run the gamut on sizes of dogs. Wesley thinks he's a dinosaur. So this is kind of what the contraption looks like. This is the dry food container. So basically what it does is it sits like this. You fill it with kibble, either up here or through the bottom. And if they are dogs that are free fed, or they're dogs that are kept separate from their food until it's time to eat, this is a great container for that. So it keeps you kind of like peace of mind that they're not really ever gonna run out of food. My 3 little dogs used to be free fed until we adopted Ernie. Then it became a problem because she would eat everything. So now they eat 2 times a day, and this one isn't that useful for us anymore. So we don't use it, but the same look of it is also a water container, except it doesn't open through the top. You unscrew the bottom, you fill it, and then you install it, right? And so I have 2 waterers in my house. I have a small one here in my studio, a small one just filled with water for the little dogs. And then downstairs I have a bigger tank of a waterer downstairs for when the dogs are downstairs or for Ernie. That thing is awesome. Now, I do have to say, after about a month, it stops working. And it doesn't stop working where it's non-functional, but it has a little spring that kind of gets stuck. So you just have to kind of check that their water is in the bowl. If their water's in the bowl, great. If there's no water in the bowl, but there's water in the tank, all you have to do is kind of flick it. Like I just kind of tap it with my foot and then all the water gushes out. So it's really awesome because it keeps you from having to replenish their bowls or making sure they don't run out of water. It makes your life a lot easier. And I like that it comes in different sizes. So for me, it was really important to have a water tank that was big enough where I would only have to fill it once or maybe twice a week. Before, we were going through water bowls 3 times a day, and it was just super hard to keep up with. Not to mention the mess it made because Ernie loves to play with water. She sticks her paws in everything. So that brings me to my next item. After doing much research or thorough research on what's the best way to keep floors dry when you have a dog that basically is in the splash zone every time she drinks water, I found these really cool silicone trays. It's basically like a giant placemat. You put the water in the placemat, and the dog has to step into the mat to drink water. And so the splashing all happens in the mat. If you're on hardwood, if you're on nice carpet, if you're on concrete, heck, if you just don't want water on your floors, they have to step into the mat, drink water, and the water just gets contained on the mat. Now, if you have a dribbly dog that walks away dripping, well, I can't help you there. But as far as the splashing is concerned, this mat is awesome. And again, it comes in many different sizes. So I'm gonna list and link all the specific sizes that I show you in this video in the description box below. So if you're like, I have a Mern, I want that exact mat, I will make sure to write it in the description box. Okay, now let's talk about marking. So my dogs get walked, but they also have free reign of the backyard. If they need to go potty, if it's snowing, if it's raining or whatever, they go out into the back. Why did I say snowing? It literally never snows here. They go out into the back and they go potty. Sometimes, because I have senior dogs, the Totopoh is very lazy and he gets so cold. It's 70 degrees outside and he's cold. So he'll take a couple steps outside and then he'll look back, and if I'm not watching him, he'll mark on the column or he'll mark on the patio furniture. He knows he's gonna die soon thereafter, so he doesn't do it very often. But when he does, I have run the gamut on pee removal products, and I have found 2 that I really like. There's one that is impossible to find. It's a red one that I've talked about in the vlogs before, but this one is awesome, and I love how it smells. So this is the Rocco and Roxie Professional Strength Stain and Odor Eliminator. It's designed specifically to remove stain and odor from anything, and it's safe to use on carpet, it's safe to use on drapes, it's safe to use anywhere. I actually like it because it reminds me of thieves. Like the smell is a little bit like thieves with a little bit more of a minty thieves. I bought the gallon of this and I just refilled this bottle. It is so good. The cleaning effects or the power effects or the smell effect or whatever lasts several days. So by the time your dog decides to want to go mark again, the scent isn't there anymore, and he's dissuaded from peeing there. He goes somewhere else. So I do have to vouch for this one. If you're gonna get it, I would say just go ahead and buy the gallon size, like the big jug, and use your own spray bottle rather than getting the little one and then going back to get the big one. I bought this one because I wasn't sure if it was gonna work. Listen, I have 4 dogs. Like, I've tried a lot of products, and so it's hard for me to commit to something off the, you know, like just automatically, I guess. It's hard for me to commit to something instantly without trying it first, but this one is awesome. The other product that I want to talk to you guys about, and we're almost done, is a bed. My dogs are used to having beds with edges around them. They're called cuddle cups. The brand that designed this pattern is called Cuddle Cups. However, other brands design this style, but the style is a cuddle cup, which basically means it has edges, which are supposed to emotionally or psychologically make your pet feel safe, warm, protected. And so when I'm going through the trouble of buying the dogs new beds, because they do wear away, they get yucky, they get dirty with senior pets. So if you guys are familiar with having pets, you know that their stuff needs replenishing. Anyway, so I did some research on a bed that was similar to a cuddle cup, but that the covers were machine washable. All 3 of the beds that you see behind me now, I purchased that Tuesday morning. None of them are covers. They're full-size beds. They're not you can't take the covers off. So if I need to wash them, I need to put the whole thing directly in the washing machine, which is very difficult. I wanted to find something that was like a cuddle cup, but that it had covers on it. So I could take off the covers and wash it and, you know, keep it clean, keep it comfy, but that was also the same purpose of that like donut concept of bed. So I found this one, and this one comes in many different colors and sizes. So no matter if your dog is this big or your dog is this big, they vary in size. But my favorite part about this is that they're pig approved. This bed is pig approved. So my friend Gina brought her pet pig over, Kona, and she fell in love with this bed. So needless to say, cuddle cups work. Cuddle cups are awesome. It makes your pets feel happy, safe, warm, protected, but the covers come off and you can wash them. When I was reading the reviews and the instructions of care, like you have to take it off and make sure you don't use hot water and don't put it in the dryer. Listen, I used hot water, I used bleach, I put it in the dryer, and they were just the same. Like they came out just the same. Nothing happened to it. So I would definitely recommend it, especially if you sanitize your pet's linens. I sanitize our linens. My dogs are all sick and they all love adventure and they all get into things they're not supposed to and stuff comes out of them that's not supposed to. So I need to sanitize their linens and they come out perfectly working just as fine. Nothing's wrong with it. And they come out great every time. And it's pig approved. Like what else do you need to hear? All right, you guys, I had to run downstairs to get the final product because I really want to show it to you guys. This is the Natural Dog Company Skin Soother. It's a healing balm for dogs. That's what it looks like. That's what the balm itself looks like. Let me get it to focus on the actual balm. So that's the balm there. I told you guys about Wesley's rashes. So he is immunocompromised, so he gets rashes on his skin, and they usually put him or try to put him on steroids, which I don't like. If the infection gets too bad, they put him on antibiotics, which I also don't like. You know, it's already, he's already sick enough, and I hate just over medicating him. Well, Ernie, our healer, is very neurotic. She has very high anxiety and she gnaws at her skin when she's nervous. She gnaws at it so much that she breaks skin, and she licks at her armpits so much that she gives herself yeast infections. And so when we take her to the doctor, they automatically want to put her on anxiety pills. They want to give her anti-itch or like antihistamine. Oh, okay. That cough you hear is his collapsed trachea. So he'll go on and on and on and on and on and on. It takes him such a long time to be able to soothe himself. And he's actually on a medication, hydrocodone, to soothe his throat 3 times a day. Again, overly medicated, but luckily it doesn't hurt. It's just uncomfortable, you know, like it's almost annoying for him, or he can't stop coughing. So Ernie gets so upset when she's super nervous or anxious that she will scratch, 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 lick, 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 lick. So much so that she breaks skin, she gets a full-on rash, like she gets inflamed, and I don't want to give her Prozac. I don't want to put her on steroids, and I certainly don't think that she needs to be taking pills every day because of her anxiety, right? And so there are other ways that we can soothe her. Something very important that I need to point out is I'm not anti-medication. I am not. But I think there are some ailments that our dogs have that could be handled without having to take them to the vet and give them medication. You know what I mean? For example, this. And so Ernie will lick, 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 and she'll make herself super sore or tender. And this stuff is magical, you guys. So it's just like a little organic, all natural balm. It's like a healing balm. And listen to the ingredients. Organic cocoa butter, sweet almond oil, coconut oil, safflower oil, candelilla wax, buckthorn oil, lavender, chamomile, frankincense, myrrh, vetiver, niaouli, vitamin E. So it's basically just a bunch of natural organic oils, and it gives her so much comfort. And I have been given like apple cider wipes for her rashes, and she hates it. She feels so uncomfortable. She's sneezing all the time because of that vinegar smell. And so when Parker goes, Mern, let's get your medicine, and he goes and he gets the bin and she just goes, she lays on her back. She's like, ready. Go for it, sir. And he puts it in her little armpits. He puts it on her where her like hips meet, like her pelvic area, I guess. And if she has like a little spot or something, he'll put it on there, and she lets it happen, and she is so comfortable after that. So I think it's like, well, if you have the answer in your hands and you don't have to take them to the vet or, you know, fill a prescription for them, and you can use something like this, it's kind of, why not try, you know? And we found it on Amazon. I saw an ad for it on my Instagram, and I ordered it on Amazon, and Mern loves it. Plus, it doesn't smell as bad as the apple cider wipes that the vet gave us. It actually smells really good. It smells natural, like essential oils. Anyway, you guys, that is it for my Amazon pet recommendations. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, everything and anything that I talked about in this video will be listed and linked in the description box below, along with the measurements or the sizes of the items that I got. So I'll make sure to note that in the description box below. But if you guys have any other recommendations, questions, or anything, make sure to leave them in the comment section below so that A, I can shop with you, or B, I can answer your questions. And like always, you guys, huge favor to ask, if you had a good time, if your pet loves us, if they'd like to hang out with us, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You guys are the biggest asset to this community. I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you so much for your constant support. And I think that's it. I love you guys so much, and you know what to do. If you found this video useful, entertaining, and learned something, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye guys.